So many emotions over this match, which delivered in penalty kicks. Gazdov coming on in as a substitute to go in goal for the Pens, makes a couple of big saves as Pacific avoids losing to TSS Rovers, and they do move on to the quarterfinals. Andy Petrillo, Gareth Wheeler, and Jordan Wilson with you. But the big question I think a lot of people have on their minds, should this have even gone to Pens?
It's a bitter taste because you're looking at TSS Rovers. They literally did almost everything right in this match. But one lesson to learn maybe for next year when they come to the Can Champs is when it gets to extra time, you can't go down. That's another time added on. I felt like when Cedric Toussaint kicked the ball into the box, maybe the whistle should have been blown. But one more action, if they defended that, we don't go into penalties. They were this close to actually beating Pacific FC tonight, and it was just taken away from them in that dire moment.
At least the minimum 6 minutes of stoppage time was added. That's at minimum. It's up to the referee's discretion how much longer they will allow the game to continue. After that, the ball ended up back in the net 97-13. Now, was there enough of a delay to warrant that extra minute 13? That's up for debate. For me, I even said it when we were watching here in studio. I'm like, this one's going at least 97. I just felt with the stops and starts and stoppage time that it was going to play out that way. And then just enough time, Reon Moore, Johnny on the spot, back in the net. And then what an incredibly dramatic penalty shootout. Just wow.
It really was. Gatorade Performance of the Match goes to Reon Moore, who's joining us right now. And I want to take you back just a little bit because, Reon, there was an opportunity for you to tie it up, and you missed it. What went through your head at that moment versus what went through your head when you actually tied it?
What went through my head was like, oh, I ruined it for the boys, and I said, let's pick up ourselves and go again, and I had an opportunity, and I took it.
How are you feeling right now based on how this game played out? Are you happy? Are you relieved? What are the emotions? Because the entire country just went on this emotional roller coaster watching this all play out.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the victory. We didn't perform the way we wanted to perform, but nonetheless, a victory is a victory, so we're very happy.
Reon, I just want to ask you how you feel being in a Pacific jersey. I think they've needed someone like you, someone a bit more direct with pace. I know you had an assist earlier this season and a goal tonight. But how do you just feel wearing that jersey and being on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. You know, my family is happy, confident in me, and I just want to take the opportunity and do the best for Pacific FC.
Well, Reon, congratulations on going through. Yeah, big goal by you.
Big goal.
Very entertaining penalty kicks there, and we'll see you in the next round.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a look at that miss and then the goal. But, I mean, he just says it right there. I thought I ruined it for the guys. I thought when I missed it, I ruined it for the guys. Because Pacific did have some chances, which, by the way, a shout-out to Sandu, goalkeeper for TSS Rovers. He was busy tonight. He, too, came up with some big saves in the penalty kick. But what about the Moore miss? Did you think it was over for Pacific at this point?
I did after this miss, absolutely. And they're kind of gifted this chance because it looked like there was a foul committed at midfield. It would have been a little bit of controversy if it played out that way. You see the player down, and we'll show that in a moment. But this is just on a platter for their main number 9, Reon Moore. I mean, he has time and space. He's scoring goals for Trinidad and Tobago. We have to show you the Kunle Dadaluke foul that led to that. It would have ended in controversy. If White just plays that ball and it goes out of play for a throw, I think the game is done. It's over. I think the referee is just waiting for the rhythm to be broken in order to blow the final whistle. 97-13. No panic. This is well done by Salouf. Even better by Mayor Jaguar. I don't think that's a shot. I think he's just playing that across. He sees two players wearing purple on the far post, and Moore and Hurd, and Reon wasn't going to miss twice. That one was straightforward. But if he had actually finished the chance that was given to him initially, I think it would have been in even more controversial fashion than how that played out. There will be fans out there that said that game should have been over just after 96. He shouldn't have been allowed that opportunity. Again, it's up to the referee's discretion in that moment.
You're so right, Rios. I don't think there's a situation once the ball's in the box that the referee's calling that, right? I think once it's there, you have to wait till the action's completed, whether the ball's kicked out for a corner, throw-in, whatever it is. They were that close, TSS Rovers. And I honestly feel like they're hard done by a little bit because you're going into that last bit, and as soon as Cedric Toussaint put the ball in the box, I thought the game should have been blown.
No, but that's the thing, like, White, I mean, they put in such a shift. They were out of legs. But if he just regained his balance, play that out for a throw, I think it would have been, the game would have been over. So they had that chance to win it. Then in Pens, Pacific missed their first two. You're on an advantageous street here. I'm not going to say easy street because you got to finish the job, but they missed their first two. So you got these second chances too to go on. I think everyone watching right now is gutted because TSS Rovers, the commitment, the way that they played, the sportsmanship, the grit and grind that they showed, they are Canada's team in this Canadian Championship. Honestly. Like, sure, they were outplayed by metrics and all the statistics, but they didn't give up great chances to Pacific in the game. Those are their two best chances of the game right there. They gave the fixture everything and more. I just can't believe that they didn't come away with a win here.
I'm sticking to what I said at halftime, which is TSS Rovers, they've done it again.
Not cut you off this time.
I'm sticking to it. They've done it again because I do think there are a lot of people right now who are saying hard done by. Whistle should have been blown, should have won this game. And then either way, if you don't agree with that, you're still going into those penalties being impressed by the goalkeeper coming up with saves. Yes, a couple of their guys missed, but they took Pacific, a team who had yet to concede a goal, so far this season, to Pens and frustrated them right until the bitter end. But here's something James Merriman had up his sleeve. And we've seen this many times. In fact, we just saw it again even with the women when they most recently played. In Canada, they had an opponent who brought in a goalkeeper just for penalty kicks. Bold move by James Merriman to bring Gazdov in.
I've seen this by the Netherlands. I believe it was in the Euros. They did that as well.
Yeah. They did a World Cup 2014. We're all going nuts.
2014. Emil Gazdov is clearly the preferred option, and the young goalkeeper was outstanding. I'm not sure if he guessed wrong. He was on all of them. Of course, the one effort went over the bar by Jones. I'm not sure if the ball's come down yet, but Gazdov did the job. The weird thing was about when the substitution was made, because there was no time after the goal was scored, and the referees and the fourth official allowed an extra, 2 minutes? For Gazdov to get kitted up and then come into the game. So they allowed them that time to make the change. Meanwhile, the ball's in the back of the net. Everyone's just waiting for Gazdov to get geared up. That was a little bit odd to me. I'd have to polish up on what the rules actually say, but there's a little bit of a delay that I found kind of awkward that they were allowing the substitution to be made in that moment.
Yeah, so. the delay was awkward, but for Gazdov, you could see that this guy is prime and ready for saving PKs. Like, Will said it, he guessed right on everyone, but he just looked calm. Yeah. Like, we're forgetting as well because of there's so many TSS Rovers players that are great, but they're young and have showed tremendous heart. But Gazdov is young as well. He looked mature in this penalty shootout. He looked like every time someone stepped up that he was going to save it and make a magical moment. So hats off to him because he was exceptional when he came on.
Missing the last game due to illness. Maybe he looked so calm in net because he was still a little out of it.
Is
and
when you're dehydrated?
When you're just going based on what you know, sometimes that's better than overthinking it in your head.
I love there's certain goalkeepers. Like Emi Martinez, probably the best goalkeeper in the world today. He just thrives in those moments. It's not just psychological, it's your approach as well. And some goalkeepers have it. What's interesting that Gazdov at such a young age is taking out a 29-year-old experienced goalkeeper like Sean Melvin out in that situation because he's the preferred option. I like how the fact that James Merriman had that substitution to do that. Perhaps that's what he's thinking. As soon as if we can get this to 1-1, then he's absolutely coming into the game. Turned out to be the difference here, Andy. Well really played. Did. I mean, some people will say penalty shootouts, luck, this, that. There are players that are better at it than others. It's a skill. The game needs to end, and you get everything that you.
They have whole playbooks on how to approach penalty kicks, mostly from the player point of view. But yeah, I mean, goalkeepers as well have their tactics. This was really exciting, obviously, when TSS Rovers get on the board first. Michael Hennessy gets the goal. I mean, just seeing the looks on their faces and just seeing the way this goal happened. Because again, everything we broke down in that first half was about a formation sitting back. You even pointed out Polisi saying, hey, everyone just stay back. It was never about push. 0-0-0 were their stat lines after the first half. But when they decide to strike, Jordo, it ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, look, TMG right there, Thomas Mears-Jaguar makes a mistake, but they capitalize, right? Everything after this point is methodical from TSS Rovers. And Michael Hennessy, even that shove to Luke, he said, this is my moment. The 19-year-old makes this run. Look, he gets into that area, slip pass, wonderfully weighted. Perfect. 1-0. I thought, look, for him getting on in the 69th minute, Andy Petrillo, and then scoring in the 75th, this is a dream start for any 19-year-old. He's going to tell his kids, look, it took me 6 minutes to score this goal in the Canadian Championship in 2024. But I thought he was exceptional. Even the penalty that he took, Wheels. Yeah. Confidence from this young man.
He's going to need a massage from that, you know.
Yeah, it was a headlock.
Brought down. Polisi. But Pacific, this was a story of their night. Like, yeah, sure, they had lots of possession. That was sloppy. Toussaint, just a searching ball to Moore. There's nothing that Moore could have done with that. And even going the other way, Luke has to be, if he's not the fastest player in the Canadian Premier League, top 3, 4, 5?
He's one of the fastest, for sure, top 3.
And he was just ball watching, refused to get goal side on Hennessy in that moment. And what a finish. 1 shot on target, 1 goal for TSS Rovers. That's it. That's it. We built a pack of highlights of just TSS Rovers defending your you-know-what off. The help defending and playing within their shape was exemplary. Like, Pacific did not know what to do. Anytime they looked up to make a cross, they were outnumbered inside the area. They play it short. TSS Rovers rotated, stepped up, stepped in. Here, we'll show you some of this pack, Jordan, and walk us through maybe what impressed you so much. Because every time we looked up, we were like, yeah, add that play, add that play.
Look, what impressed me the most was not only Smichenko, number 17, and White, that partnership, number 4, but is the way that Jones, his sweet little frame, got back into that position for where you need 6s. Right, so there's a triangle between your 2 center backs and that 6 in that space. They were committed, this squad. That's why I feel hard done by. Look at this. Throwing your body, being in the right spot. But look at the numbers that are continuously in the box, Wheels. 5, 6 bodies ready to attack. And it's not like they're just sitting back and waiting for the ball to come to them. Look at Sandu coming out as well, owning his box. They're attacking the ball. They were all committed, all on the same page, and now I could see why their manager, Tom Johnson, just looked comfortable and confident in the beginning of the match. Because he's like, they're ready. They're ready to do this.
So disappointing about the last chance that they gave up, because it was just
like
the one moment, that wall.
Yeah, that they didn't defend perfectly.
Done. Yeah, it was just that one moment that ended up costing them.
Hennessy almost caught Melvin out of goal as well because he was playing higher up the pitch. He was trying to press. They were pressing for that tying goal. He saw that he was out, tried to chip it over his head.
Little 50-yard chip?
Yeah, I mean, that was close. Imagine if that had gone in. We're not even having this conversation.
His shirt's coming off, for sure. If he scores that one, yeah.
That's it.
I honestly think that if TSS Rovers pulled that off tonight, would it even been better than their win over Valor last season? Because this Pacific team is good. This is a good Pacific team that they asked so many questions of, and Pacific had few answers.
Yeah.
Last year at Swangard, it was still, I'm not taking anything away. It was an incredible, victory and great for this tournament. But tonight, they were that close to doing it again.
Yeah. Last year was vibes, but this year would have been organization got you there. Like, you could look at this match, and obviously Pacific FC will be like, okay, they sat back and parked the bus, but they didn't. They did more than that. They frustrated Pacific. They limited them to only crosses that they defended well. This is a big boy team performance, and like we said, marginal. Like, they were this close. 10 more seconds if they clear that ball. This is 1-0 TSS Rovers.
Let's take a look at the full-time stats. And by the way, to me, they've created a roadmap for other League One teams because it may not be the prettiest, it may not be the most entertaining, but what do you care? Look at what it almost got them.
Yeah.
It almost got them that win. It definitely got them into penalties where they had a chance once again to win it. I think they've created a roadmap for other League One teams. Brendan Teeling, manager of TSS Rovers, at the podium.
Yeah, I think it's just a massive team effort. We just tried to stay compact, make it difficult for them, frustrate them, and it nearly worked.
What do you make of the offensive talent on the group that you're able to hold on? You guys get a moment of magic and the goal you scored.
Yeah, I mean, we've got so much quality going forward. It gives me a headache to make a decision in terms of the starting 11. Mikey came off the bench and does what he does best. He just took his goal really, really well. But we've got so much quality going forward, yeah.
And defensively, you guys put in a shift tonight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely tired legs. They put everything on line. It just wasn't enough over the 96, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it was.
Last one, I'll pass them off. Just what, third time the Rovers have gone up against the CPL team, a win, a draw, close loss. What does that say of the talent in the group and, maybe League One BC as a whole? Do you feel maybe it's being a bit ignored in terms of talent?
I mean, I think this is just proof of the pudding that you can't really take any opposition for granted. I think our organisation has that kind of bite. We're a bit different. And yeah, we just seem to have a knack for this competition. So maybe next year.
Yeah, Coach, take us through that extra time that seemed to go on and on and on. What's your feelings on that?
I mean, there's not much I can read. We just had to get through it. We didn't get through it. We were just short.
That's all. Yeah, no thoughts on the 96,
No.
97. No.
I mean, it is what it is. We've got to hold on. If that's what they're giving and the referee continues playing, we got to just keep playing. One of my things is we want to keep playing at all times. We just want to keep going. Don't stop. And we just had a moment, but can't fault the lads. We nearly got it.
I mean, BC League One has been in the headlines today. A bunch of reporting coming out on the status of the league and also on how much of an advertising for the league was this today, and how much does it say about the quality that is in the league and how important this league is for development of Canadian talent?
Yeah, I think obviously it's third year. It's gonna. I hope it keeps growing, keeps getting better. I know in Ontario they've got League One, League Two. Maybe that's something that can come here eventually when we get enough licensees or whatever. But yeah, I don't think this league should be taken for granted at all, and I think it's gonna keep growing. We've got a lot of talent in this province, so yeah.
What needs to happen that night?
So here's a look at the bracket. We just have one more to fill out. That'll be tomorrow night. Halifax Wanderers, CS Saint Laurent of League One Quebec. Winner of that will go on to face Toronto FC. But you have Cavalry, Whitecaps meeting for the third time. Atletico Ottawa Pacific, they will go up against each other in the quarters. CF Montreal Forge for the fourth time will face each other in the Canadian Championship. And now in the quarterfinals, it's two-match affair, home and away, preliminary round one and done. And that's it for TSS Rovers. Despite this valiant effort, they go down in penalties to Pacific 5-4. When we return, we'll give a quick look ahead to tomorrow's final preliminary game in the Canadian Championship.
Toyota's electrified vehicles are for everyone. Every chauffeur, snack connoisseur, every scenery soaker, practical joker, every road tripper, toe dipper, every 9-to-5er, every long driver. Starting over 20 years ago with the Prius, we now have the largest lineup of electrified vehicles in Canada because this journey belongs to everyone.
Do we really have any choice at all? Everyone has a choice, and every choice has a consequence.
Which do you choose?
Life's full of tough choices, isn't it?
How do you choose?
From the edge of your seat or up on your feet, let them hear you cheer.
Go in the preliminary round of the TELUS Canadian Championship. Join us tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. ET. Halifax Wanderers, CS St. Laurent, winners of League One Quebec. What can you tell us of what we can expect?
This handsome young man sitting to my left, I think he's calling cup set. Are you calling upset?
That's going to be the League One team to do it?
It's going to be a spicy match tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Look, everything I hear about CS St. Laurent is that they're pacey, that they're going to go down swinging if they're going down. But also, this is the time to play Halifax Wanderers. I think there's something in this game. How could I not say with the match we just witnessed, Andy Petrillo?
I know.
Like, the margin was...
The question, though, is that the roadmap to success? By the way, really classy comments by Brendan Teeling.
Yeah, shout out to
the
him.
head coach from TSS Rovers about everything there. But, you know, if you are St. Laurent, do you sit back against Halifax at home, or do you try to take the game to them, a team that hasn't hit their finest form here at the start of the new CPL season?
I think CS St. Laurent have enough to go out and attack well, but you have to start well, the same way that TSS Rovers did today. They're pragmatic, sat back, picked their moments. We highlighted it at halftime. And then when it was time to punish, they showed up. One shot, one goal, that is the epitome of efficiency. They're phenomenal. If St. Laurent could do that tomorrow, there's something in it for them.
Halifax, you know, like Valor entering this competition, yet to find that victory. You have to wonder, though, if there's different motivation there for Halifax. They feel hard done by in their last CPL game with that red card. There will be different motivation, but to your point, you know, does St. Laurent look at tonight and go, ooh, what TSS Rovers did, that worked?
They should.
Maybe that's what we should do. You know what? You gotta tune in tomorrow to find out, everyone. Tune in tomorrow. We will be here exactly right here. We're not even going home. We're just going to stay here, and we'll see you at 5:30 p.m. Eastern right here on One Soccer. You've been watching the 2024 TELUS Canadian Championship. Let's wrap up the preliminary round in style tomorrow. See ya.
To play,